let's talk about some common sense little tiny tricks for old school Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, resin torches. If you cut off a branch, right, especially off a pine tree, look for some resin where you did the cut on the thick part of the branch. If there is, you split that open, maybe like a cross, right? You stick a little, couple pieces of wood down there, hold it open, light that on fire. It can burn for up to 30 minutes, and it burns hotter than a normal torch, making it easier to light a fire under damp conditions. Oil, right? Oil flask is a weapon. Think about it that way. Oil wasn't just for lanterns, so imagine you have it in the flask. If you need to, you can throw it, to an area, smash the oil all over the place, and you create a small potential trap somebody can run into, and then you light that on fire, right? Maybe with a torch. You could even create choke points, right? Make it hard to move through an area by putting down fire. So now, your enemy can't just freely run through so easily. Create smoke, can blind people. Chalk. You want to carry chalk on you. It's good for marking things like symbols for danger, arrows for like a safe path, or marks to avoid getting lost, just to make sure you're not getting lost, so you know where you're going. You can come back and go, oh yeah, we put that mark there. Now we know the path, the way back to where we came from. Spikes, little like ice spikes or whatever, with some type of hammer, something to hammer it in. You can lock doors with spikes, like jam them, boom, right through the door. So there's no actual lock on the door. You can use the spike, jam it in. Or maybe you see a trap where you see where it might split, where it might go off, right? Well, get a spike, jam that in. Now that thing can't just go, and the trap doesn't just set off on you. Mirrors. Well, get a little mirror. They're quite handy. You can look around the corner. Whoa, so you don't step out, so you can see what's around the corner. Even if you're trying to negotiate with enemies, say you're trying to talk your way to something, some enemies can mess you up just by looking at you. Well, you can use a mirror. Not have to look eye to eye with the enemy. Talk to them just by looking this way. Let you keep safe too, right? So you can see them moving, if they are. Rope in general, right? You can use it as a trip line. You could even use it for emergency escapes. If you find an area where you can get out, you can put the rope up there, crawl out. But you could also do this. Just say there's a place where you could jump in. Well, why make a bunch of noise? You can lower yourself and other party members down silently by using rope instead of just jumping down. Very good. Sacks of flour or dust. Flour, well, you could throw that into an area and reveal potential invisible enemies. You can also track movement. With dust, throw it on the floor, and then, come back through. If you see that there's footsteps, well, now you know. Or you could even track your own movement for whatever reason. Either way, you can track movement by putting that down and seeing if anything is just moving. Again, that can catch invisible enemies as well. Water testing. Well, no, dungeons are not just flat. So if you want to know when you have higher ground or if there's a curve, well, just pour a little bit of water. You can see how the water flows, right? It will flow. It can flow down. And where is it going to flow down? So you can see where the slopes are. Very important. It could also, reveal things like hidden pressure traps, give you an idea of where they're at. Or pressure plates, sorry. So if you're walking into a potential trap area, you want to put that down. Then there is sound as a weapon. I'd say sound as a weapon, where you could make noise, trick your enemies to make them think that you're going somewhere, or even to lure enemies towards you, tapping on walls, doing that. So you're always trying to be silent, but actually noise can be your best friend by tricking enemies, by luring them in. Then there's a chance if you see a doorway, say there's enemies in a room, right? If you're a fighter in the group, maybe you want to jump in that doorway if the enemies are coming. Well, because now you can't be surrounded, right? That's important. And now you're limiting the flow of enemies coming at the group. That's what's happening. You're going to one-on-one. You're creating a choke point in the fight. Very good. Carry marbles. Another thing to find out if there's a slope, you can roll them around. But you can also use them to throw them on the floor, right? So it's a lot harder for guys just to come running at you without tripping up. Another thing you could do is carry soap or grease, right? So you can, say you're stuck, like say you were locked up for any reason, like a little bit of soap can get you out. You could grease the floor so if people come running through, they slip, fall down. Fishing line or some type of line with hooks or magnets. Well, you could use those to get in little areas, hook something, right? If something's too far away from you, you can throw that with the magnet or hook, drag it in. Pre-tie knots and like harnesses and stuff like that. Don't sit there and wait till you're in danger to go, I need to do that, because that's when it will screw you. You won't have time. So if you think you're going to need stuff like that, it's good to get ahead of the game, right? Here's a good way to take fire and test areas, right? If there's airflow in any area coming through like a crease or something, you can put your torch up, you'll see the flame move. If it's bad air or no oxygen at all, you put the fire up. It could try to put the fire out, right? But it won't move the fire. It could end up putting the fire out. And this way you could try to avoid gas traps, if there's such thing that's bad air, or what they call suffocating rooms in dungeons. Never just go to the center of a room. And don't just send everybody in. You want to maybe send like one person in, hug the walls, go around, do some testing in the room. The center of the room can equal death. Just saying. Think vertically. Now, understand it's good to check the ceiling and above doors and all that, just to see, certain things. Basically, you're not flat. But here's another thing. There's a lot of deadly threats that come from above, right? Enemies that drop down on you without you knowing. They're waiting for you to look forward so they can drop down. Always be checking above you. I know that sounds simple, but it's something I've seen old school people, even guys who've been doing this for a while, forget to do. Right? Even after having encounters where something drops down on them. There's another game. They're looking ahead. They're not even thinking about it. Plan potential retreat. Right? Always plan it out where your retreat is. All these tricks of the chalk or whatever. Plan retreat on your way in. Keep looking at where you're coming in and plan it out. Pre-prep is really good because in danger, you're not going to have time to think about these things. And actually, what if you do get lost? That's why the chalk or the flour or the dust and all that is really credible for finding your way around a place. Pre-plan, pre-do a lot of things. There are some simple things, ways you can think to come at old school Dungeons and Dragons. There's many more tricks out there, but I figured I'd share a few with you. Especially if you're new to old school or new to some form of old school with an OSR game, right? I just want to give some love to players that will need it, and you'll need the help, and you'll need to be focused. So be ready, because old school is dangerous. These little tricks can just help you, deal with the crap that you're going to run into. From enemies to dangerous rooms to the whole 9 yards. Or, say you don't have an extra torch on you, you're stuck out somewhere, you've used up all your light. Well, go out, cut some branches off, look for some resin. There, you got some light. Out in the wild, for nothing. Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you all soon.